Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? It is spring here in New England. Still got the fireplace on here. Who wants to get us started with some good vibes? Who's got something going good in their world? I have to start just calling on people. Joe Jones, you are center left square for me. You're just smiling at me. Something's going good in your world. What do you got? Holy moly, you guys. That's what Martin. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. My Christmas shopping is officially done.
Right. That that'll put a smile on everybody's face. That is awesome. Yeah, you're way ahead of schedule here, buddy. I will share my gratitude that I don't have to do any of that. My wife, who's in the next room, is like just amazing at that stuff, and our stuff is probably done ahead of schedule as well. I was just talking to Lauren about this yesterday. If you guys haven't done anything around this time of year to give back, we did Toys for Joy yesterday. It's something probably been doing, I don't know, 5, 6 years running now. Just really will humble you. You know, a lot of local businesses, big businesses donate tons of toys. Um, and then just families can sign up that are in need, and they sign up, they come through with their with their family size, and then you've got pickers and runners. So you just you'll get, the family might come in and they have a 7-year-old girl, an 8-year-old boy, a 9-year-old boy, and um, it comes in and you go pick the toys that they've got lined up and deliver it. And it's just it's a really really good experience, especially this time of year. So if you haven't done anything and you're in a little bit of a slump, I think it'll pull you out, because we had a great time doing that yesterday. Anybody else want to share? Lauren,
Am I unmuted?
you're good.
Okay. Um, there was one young lady there yesterday who just came on her own. So a lot of us were like companies, businesses there with people donating their time at this event. But there was one young lady there whose family had gotten toys from events like this one and many others. And so she, after experiencing all of that, felt the need to give back, just graduated high school. And I just thought it was so special, right? She was sharing her story. She had walked from somewhere to give her time to help. So I thought it was awesome.
The other thing that I'll mention, and I don't know if this happened yesterday or not, but we talk about trying to develop our businesses and generate business and getting into small groups. Um, and so I was there with a couple of our agents, and there's a couple of things that happened. One, I was talking to one of my agents, and just kind of walking through what are they doing to get business. And they talked about just had joined a new gym, met somebody at the gym, going to sell them a house. Right. So that's putting yourself in a small group. But just the fact that you're going to do the event that we did yesterday at Toys for Joy, there's a bunch of other, local business employees that were there. And, with the right networking, you would have met a dozen new people that you've never met before. Small group. They're your tribe. They're other people that are looking to give back. And I promise you, had the right networking been done throughout the day, there was a real estate transaction sitting at the Toys for Joy event that we did yesterday. Right? So these are the types of things that not only do you get the goodwill of giving back, and it'll humble you a little bit, but it can generate some business for you. So anybody else doing anything around the holidays to just kind of get out there and get in front of people? So I mean, you got 8 days left before the big holiday. See if there's some opportunities. I promise it's going to put a smile on your face. I promise you're going to go and meet people. And with a little bit of luck, it's going to generate a real estate transaction for you on top of it all. So let's switch over to some real estate stuff. Who's got something going on a deal that might be a good share for the group? Adam, since you decided to turn your camera on, might as well just put you on the spot. What do you got going on? What have you learned recently? Maybe on a flip or something. You had the hurricane come through. Um, you've done a lot of deals. What's something new that you're like, whoa, this was new. I didn't realize this.
Uh, well, when you get a lot of inventory on the same street, so just to give you guys a little flavor, we flipped the property down here in Sarasota. Um, Took about 6, 7 months to do the renovation. In the meantime, we had the hurricane come through, which I think changed the buyer sentiment. Do I want to be in an area that has hurricanes? Usually the hurricanes were focused on the east coast of Florida. Lately, they've been coming through the Gulf, hitting the west coast side. So just to give you some flavor, we've got 5 other houses, competitive houses just on our street, and 39 houses within a half a mile. So we had to list the house significantly less than what we planned on. And of course, now we're still sitting here trying to chase the market. So we've renting and does that make sense? So I guess the message here is, had we gone a little faster on the flip, maybe that means paying more expensive contractors to get the job done earlier. It could have saved us here. So I guess your house is only worth what buyers are willing to pay for it, and that is a direct reflection of what your neighbors are selling their houses for. So when I was a listing agent and I would go out to these houses, I would tell everyone, your house is like a stock market. If your neighbor next door all of a sudden lists their house tomorrow and they've got, better options than you, I can't get you the price that you're hoping for. So I know the winter time, a lot of people don't want to necessarily list their house, but supply, and this is more of a Massachusetts benefit because supply is high down here in Florida right now. But if you want to list your house in Massachusetts, a lot of the supply is taken off the market because sellers don't want to list their house. So it's actually a great time to list your house in Mass because people are still looking, perhaps more than ever, because they're off from work on a break. Maybe they have the week off, they have a holiday off. So they're looking at Zillow and all the other real estate websites a little bit more often, and you've got low inventory. It might be a time for you to talk with your seller about getting on the market versus waiting until January, February, even the spring when everyone brings their house to market. So market timing is, I guess, the message of this one. Just making sure you're educating your sellers on, how important it is to be listing your house, and especially like condos. Man, if you want to list a condo and there's no other condos for sale, it's a great time to put the condo on the market versus, if there's 3 or 4 other condos on the market, it's tough to get top dollar for your condo. So that's another thing to consider.
Yeah, it's a good share. I mean, I think the story for you guys, regardless of what market you're in, is you can use, the hurricane as an extreme example, right? So when you're trying to just talk to your sellers, hey, you know what? We've got some agents that are part of our network that are doing business down in Florida. Here's what happened, right? The hurricane came. Now on the same street, you might have 5 or 6 houses for sale, and good luck selling that house and getting the same price that you were looking for before. Well, here in New England, or whatever market you're in Springfield, Massachusetts, we're not going to have a hurricane come through, but we are going to have what's called the spring market come through, and more people are going to put their house for sale. Right now, we don't have that competition. So just something for you to think about, Mr. Seller. If you wait till that spring market, it's not quite as extreme as a hurricane coming through, but now there's all this extra competition. So good little analogy, good story for you guys to be able to tell to your sellers if you're trying to push them to bring their house to market. And I love the condo example because regardless of market, you could have a really strong market. All of a sudden, a random condo gets three units for sale, and you're in trouble. So a lot of times that property really, what you're going to be able to get really depends on how much else is for sale. So great point. Anybody have any questions on that, or a different story along those lines? How about something else weird going on in your real estate world? What have you learned recently? I'm going to do a little share, and unfortunately, for those that are driving that can't see their screens, it might not be that effective, and I don't know how well this is going to go because I'm going to try and mirror my phone. But obviously, I'm on a little bit of a social media journey right now, and I'm hoping you guys are going to be on this journey with me. I wanted to just share something that I learned. Um, so let's see if I can share my phone here. Ignore. And all right, so a little Instagram tip. So I wasn't aware of this, but in Instagram, when you log in and you got to go to your home down in the bottom left, right? You're going to see the Instagram logo in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm going to try and do a story about this today, but that Instagram link is actually clickable, and you get two drop downs. You get following and you get favorites. Right. So if you just wanted to kind of cut to the chase and see more of who you follow instead of just getting whatever Instagram wants to serve you up, you can just hit this following and it's going to show you more of the people that you follow. Okay. The second kind of cool thing when you hit the drop down is this favorites button. Right. So you can actually go through, and in the upper right hand corner, you can click and you can pick people. You have to be following them, but you can pick people that you want to add to your favorites so that those people are going to show up in your feed more often. So when we talk about controlling the feed, these are a couple of little tips and tricks that you can do to do that, right? If you want more positivity in your feed, then favorite, those things. If you're on a personal growth journey, favorite some personal growth people. If you're on a health journey, find somebody that's a health and wellness expert and favorite them and get them added in here so that these people are going to show up a little bit more often. So just a couple of cool little tricks that you can play with here on this Instagram logo in the upper left-hand corner. Anybody have any questions? Did that share okay? Everybody can see that? Just a quick
that's
thumbs
shared.
up. Yeah. So anybody else, just while we're in here, like have a share or something that I can kind of show on my Instagram of, hey, this is a way that I'm using it, or I'm controlling my feed, or anything else that you might want to share since I've got this.
Steve,
Another.
I'll add one more thing here. One of the things I'm trying to do in this social media journey is pay attention to what catches my eye, right? So, why am I looking at the videos I'm looking for outside of that they're in my, what I'm interested in, but, what does the thumbnail picture look like, right? How long is the video? How much is there talking? Is it a video where I'm talking live, or is it a video where they took the video and shot the audio after? What are they using for hashtags? Are they putting 100 hashtags? Are they putting 10 hashtags? Right. So copy, duplicate, repeat. Right. So I'm just trying to pay attention to what's catching my eye, and I'm going to try to mimic that with my videos going forward. If you were at the Sharon event, the what does 500,000 get me in Springfield, or whatever the situation is. I'm going to try to look at those videos, see what people are doing, how many tags are they putting, how long's the video, that type of thing, and just mimic the one that caught my eye the best.
Cool. Anybody else? I know there's another feature if there is an ad. So for instance, this is an ad from Caraway Home. I can right click on this, I believe, or is it the three dots? So if you go to those three dots, you can pick not interested, and that'll make sure that those ads don't come up anymore. Or if it's something that you are interested, hey, show me more of this. So again, another way to kind of control the feed. If you're getting ads that you're like, one time you clicked on something and you're like, why does it keep firing this at me? Right? Hit the three dots, pick not interested, and those ads shouldn't keep coming your way. Anybody else want to share tip, trick on Instagram? All right, let's see if I can stop presenting on that. How well does that stuff translate for those of you guys who are looking on the screen? Is that stuff helpful if we do, live stuff like that? Like it shows well enough what you can see? Cool. Um, Anybody else, just anything in general on the social stuff that could be a benefit for people here that you've learned recently about how to use the platform? What's working for you as far as content? I think Sharon just got me the slides from the event. One of the things that I think is just such an easy play for us is that content matrix that he shared. So you're never having to think about what you're going to post, right? You just go to the matrix and it'll give you some sort of an idea of, hey, I want to post something for buyers and I want it to be related to real estate news that's going on. Or I want it to be for sellers and I want it to be with regards to the market. And then you can take that, and if you're not super creative, just throw it into ChatGPT and ask it for an idea of something, a video that you can make, a post that you could do. You can even tell it, can you generate the post for me? So you don't even have to make the post. I took my latest favorite there, if you guys caught, was Chelsea Peets. So I took a class that Chelsea did on her, Reel runs Instagram for normal people, but it's a mastermind. So they have different speakers on. I don't know how often it runs, every couple of weeks. So Chelsea Peets is somebody, I took her class yesterday. And she had a couple of good little ideas, but one of the things that she said is, like, if you've had a significant change in your following, or even if you haven't had a significant change and you put out a piece of content that maybe you didn't use the tide riser, right? So you put it out when your reel or when your feed was kind of cold, like, just recycle it, throw it out there again, put it in a story, put it in a reel. Maybe you want to remake it, so just shoot it quick again. But even if you just took the same piece of content that you're like, man, this was a good post, for whatever reason, it just didn't hit. Maybe it's because you didn't have a tide riser that came before it. So that's something else to kind of keep in mind. What else is going on in your real estate worlds? What are we learning out there? What class? Has anybody taken a real class and want to share something maybe that you learned? Let me just use you guys as kind of a poll for an idea that I have. I think that the conferences and the classes and Sharon's event all give us a lot of ideas. But I think, like Sharon said, I think most of us aren't going to implement most of what we saw at the conference, which is super frustrating. And I know it's difficult to do. My thought was, what if we came up with 26 core ideas? And by we, I mean me. Come up with 26 core ideas, systems, modules that the top agents should have in their business. And we do 2-week sprints throughout 2025, right? So at the end of 2025, we've got 26 systems, modules, etc., built into our business. Right. So, and we'll launch this with a bunch of different tiers. So, hey, I'm a new licensee. Maybe I just need a process to capture buyers at my open house. Right. Or maybe I'm an experienced agent and I not just want a way to capture them, but I want them to get them to register for something. So maybe I have something that they can register for. Maybe you use Sharon's Google Drive idea. Or the third tier would be, I'm a top producer. So not only do I have a digital way that they register, I have something that they can register for, and I have an extreme follow-up plan to turn these people into clients for life. Right? So that is a 2-week sprint. We work on our open house game plan, right? And the next 2-week sprint might be our contractor list, right? And so for 2 weeks, we are going to work on, do I have plumbers? Do I have electricians? Am I reaching out to my people, right, to have this list? So what do we think? And we do it together. We talk about it on this call. And by the end of 2025, we have 26 systems modules built into our business, right? If we're trying to professionalize this, I think if we do it together, we hold each other accountable, we talk about these things as we're building them out. And I think 2 weeks is enough time to focus on something. We might take a 2-week stretch and work on our listing presentation. Right? And people can share their listing presentation. What are they doing? Right. And so a first tier might be just, I needed to have a listing presentation. Right. And an experienced agent, maybe I've got a digital listing presentation. Right. And a top producer has, a package that lands at the person's house prior to them going out. You deliver the box of chocolates or the cookies, something else comes in the mail, then you do your listing presentation, and then post listing presentation, all of these other things happen, right? So I think we can tier it out so that at any level, right, if you're a new licensee, you're experienced, or you're a top producer, these are the things that should happen. We like this? Yeah. Awesome. And I think together, right, I'll come up with some framework for what are the 26 core things that I think you guys need built into your business. And then as we're building it, we can share some of those ideas on this call. Right, we'll do a training. We'll launch on like a Tuesday. We'll maybe do some sort of a training on a Wednesday. You guys kind of have 2 weeks, and then as we're going through it, hey, I tried this, I did that. It doesn't have to dominate this call. I still want this to be a deal doctoring call, but I think there's got to be 26 modules that agents need installed in their business. And I think, some of us have, a little bit of a module, or maybe nothing for a module, or maybe a couple of modules. You guys absolutely knock it out of the park, and maybe on those ones that you crush, you speak on these calls. Hey, you know what? This module, I'm in really good shape. I'm just fine tuning now. So I'm pretty excited about this idea. I'm a systems guy, and I think 2-week stretches where hopefully we can look back after a year and go, wow, I got a real business here. I got all these systems in place. And then the following year, right, if you've got kind of that middle tier, now you're trying to be the top producer tier, right? Now you're adding those extra couple of layers into a system that you've already got built. Questions, comments, thoughts? Somebody say something. Nicole.
No, I love this. I've just seen so many newer agents in their first year or even 2 years just try to do it all at once, get everything up and running, their listing presentations, their buyer presentations, all the knowledge they need to know, how to work a deal, just everything from start to finish. And they try to cram it all in right up front, which I think actually slows down them actually starting to build their business. So to have a game plan just rolled out for the year, this is how you're going to improve, this is how you're going to build things, I think it's going to be great. I love it.
I think the timing of this, Steve, is important. I mean, with the first of the year, I think we always said that the real estate agents, the one that slowed down the market. But the first month or the next 4 to 6 weeks are going to be typically a little bit slower. So if you're going to implement a couple processes, procedures, modules, it's a great time to start.
Yeah, and I'll build out the modules so that they're coming at the right times of the year, right? Like we'll have a business planning module that hits in December. Maybe we do the open house module in March, right before we start to list some houses, right? So maybe March, you're also doing your listing presentation stuff. So let's time these when they are going to be most critical. So, but I do have our agent scorecard doc that I was going to try and take a look at of the different areas of your business that how do you score yourself? And I'm sure I've got, probably 26 different modules in there. So it's either going to be like 25 and 25 or 26 and 25 or some play on that because maybe we take a 2 week break or something, or I don't know, maybe there's a light 2 weeks in there, but something like 25 and 25 or something along those lines is what I'm shooting for. So what else do I have for you guys this morning? I took a look at the news headlines. The only thing that kind of stuck out to me was something they're calling digital twins, which is an interesting concept. So apparently there's some fairly new technology that's allowing for the duplication of buildings digitally, right? So for instance, Las Vegas just launched a digital twin of their downtown. So it's a digital recreation of their downtown. And what you can do is you can run simulations against the buildings. You can put different environmental stresses on it. You can just age it to see what it looks like over time. And it helps for planning purposes. And the way that I could see this coming into residential is you get a digital twin of your property, right? Well, your property is whatever, it's 20 years old. And but the roof is 10 years old and the heating system is 5 years old, and et cetera. And so here's kind of the digital layout for what might the next 10 or 15 years look like, and what are the things that you're going to need, and what might some of the costs be, and how can you improve the energy efficiency of it. So I think this digital twin concept is pretty cool, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Martin.
So I saw something the other day where for new builds, they basically project your plans of your house on a floor and it's life size, which I thought was really, really cool. So you can actually figure out where everything goes. I don't know if you guys seen that yet.
Yeah, I've seen it, and then you can kind of move stuff around too.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so you can kind of like walk around your house before it's actually built. Yeah, pretty cool. Very cool. So I haven't seen this digital twin stuff like, in action yet. But it's something to keep an eye out for. I definitely think it's something that, I don't know, maybe in the next year or two, there's a digital, like maybe it's a piece that you do it with a listing. You take a new listing, you get a digital twin of it. The buyers can look at the digital twin. They can see what this thing might look like over the next 5 to 10 years, what some of the costs might be. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out, but I definitely think it's something that can add some value for homeowners. Okay, let's just finish up with the training that is available today. Let me kind of share this. And I will tell you, I really love Real Academy. I've taken, I don't know, probably 20 courses already. I love the fact that, depending on the speed of the speaker, you can go to 1.25, 1.5, 2. I mean, I think I got through Chelsea's Instagram for dummies here in like 20 minutes. I got a bunch of little tips out of there. So I would highly encourage you guys to check this stuff out. Let's see. Where is it there? So available today. We got Trends and Tactics Mastermind, psychology-driven sales training, building a pipeline of first-time home buyers. There's an attraction class, serving your sphere, so how to connect with your sphere better, and then another attraction workshop. So 6 different classes available today. Like I said, or I always say, if you're not a real agent and you wanted access to one of these, just send me a direct message and we'll get you the link to register. So appreciate you guys today. Adam, great to have you on in sunny Florida down there, brother. And we'll talk to you guys all again tomorrow morning. Take care.